Welcome to Commodore Countdown. I'm Alexa Galloway along here with Varun Raghupathi and David Lauterbach. The Falmouth Commodores are here at Wed Wilson Field facing the YD Red Sox in Game 2. Last night in Game 1, Falmouth lost to YD 5-0. Dave, we'll start with you. What went wrong?
Well, Falmouth couldn't hit. Walker Buehler, the righty out of Vanderbilt, who started for YD, was just brilliant. 8 innings pitched, 104 tosses, just 3 hits, and that's the big reason why. Falmouth mustered only 3 hits in the entire game. They never got someone to third base, so they just couldn't hit. And a big reason why is because Buehler is so dominant. I think it's safe to say he'll be a first-round pick next year. And Falmouth, we'll talk a little bit more about Duchesne later, who they're facing tonight, but they just didn't get hits when they needed to, combined with the fact that they weren't swinging at good pitches. They got good contact, but it went right to the outfielders and infielders. So they weren't necessarily swinging at the best pitches, although there weren't really any good pitches to swing at from Buehler last night, except for the 3 hits he gave up.
Besides not getting hits, for what needs to change for tonight's game?
Well, they seemed a little bit jittery in Game 1. You could tell the nerves were there. Like you said, David, swinging at the first pitch, especially Steven Duggar, who had 2 first pitch outs yesterday and Rutza going 0 for 4. Falmouth just needs to relax. It's Game 2, win or go home, obviously, but hey, it's just a baseball game at the end of the day. These guys have played in some of the biggest stages in collegiate baseball, and this is no different. I also think that the fact that Walker Buehler was a first-time appearance against Falmouth played into it. The Commodores very good in terms of familiarity, which is what happens tonight with Kevin Duchesne on the mound for YD.
Tonight's starting pitcher for Falmouth is Kevin McKenna from Rice University. He's an ERA north of 2. David, what are we going to see from him tonight?
Well, hopefully, in the terms for the Commodores, the same appearance he had against Hyannis in the semifinals. 100 pitches, 8 innings, gave up just 1 run. He was brilliant. I just said to Sam Gillikin, it was probably the best start we've seen this year, minus Walker Buehler last night and Kyle Cody out of Wareham earlier this year. So he just needs to continue that again. And a big thing he did was he pitched on the edges to Hyannis. He didn't throw anything down the middle, whether it was high, whether it was low. He painted the corners away from the lefties and inside to the righties. So if he can do that again tonight against a YD lineup and jam them a lot, he should be able to get those ground outs that he just lives off of, and maybe Falmouth's first win to even up the series.
On the other side of the pitching matchup is Kevin Duchesne from Illinois. How is he going to match up against the Falmouth offense?
Well, the Commodores have seen him twice already. The first time was way back at the beginning of the year. Kevin McKenna went against him. Kevin Duchesne went 4 2/3, walked 4 batters, and gave up 3 runs. But the next time around, July 2nd, Duchesne was much improved. 9 strikeouts against the Commodores. Definitely a strikeout pitcher. The kid from Illinois is very, very effective with all of his pitches, but Falmouth has seen him before, knows what he throws. That's how things will change tonight. The Commodores can wait to the end of the at-bat to swing at the good pitch that Duchesne's going to put over the plate, because he walked 4 batters in his first appearance against Falmouth. That's something he cannot do tonight. When you look at Walker Buehler, he only had 1 walk in 8 innings.
Well, it's win or go home for Falmouth. David, we'll start with you. What's going to be key to tonight's game?
Well, for me, and this might sound silly, it might sound ridiculous, it's getting Duchesne out as early as possible and getting that big lead. The big reason why is because Falmouth, if they're losing going into the 7th or 8th inning, YD's going to bring out the secret weapon named Phil Bickford. The number 10 overall pick in the 2013 draft by the Blue Jays goes to Cal State Fullerton. So if Falmouth wants to avoid that situation and face the top prospect in the Cape League in terms of winning the award, and probably the top prospect in terms of any pitcher, Falmouth really needs to get Duchesne out early to avoid having to face Bickford.
So get Duchesne out early and score early. Varun, what do you have?
It's got to be the same thing for me. Score early, mostly because Falmouth cannot play without that lead, which is done so many times in the playoffs. It's a stat that we've said time and time again, but the Commodores have played in 5 postseason games in 2014. In the first 4, Falmouth had at least 1 run before the bottom of the 2nd inning. It's my favorite stat because it held true last night. The Commodores didn't score at all, and they lost 5-0. So if Falmouth can jump out to that early lead, be patient at the plate. That's my other key to kind of go on a different tangent. Just be patient, wait for those 2-1 counts, the 3-2s, the 3-1s. You're going to get a pitch that you can hit a long way. This is not a very big field either. We could see some fireworks in Game 2.
We'll see how it all plays out. Game time set for 4 o'clock, audio pregame at 3:45 on Ustream. So stick around and join us.